Hello everyone, this is Anna Stanton. I just want to share with you a little bit about communication and working with a team so that you are working in unison together. One of the things that came up in a conversation behind closed doors, a coaching conversation, was the business owner was noticing how much certain team members were relying on her. You know, yeah, sure, the buck stops with her, the decision stops with her, yet they weren't taking the initiative within themselves. And then, you know, what she also noticed was that she was then coming in and having to pretty much micromanage so many different areas. It's like where there were other things that of higher priority that she wanted to focus in on. So what we tended to work on was, first and foremost, was how much of that was her coming in and controlling, because she felt like she had this nature about her to be coming in and making sure that she controlled everything that was going on. And yet it was like, I'm going controlling and then I'm going to let go. It's like I'm controlling, but then I'm going to let go. There was no middle ground there in the way of from inside out, trusting the team, communicating with the team on a regular basis to know that, you know, these are the roles that they are to be, you know, partaking in, and making sure that they were doing the job that they were employed to do. And then one of the questions that came up was it was delegating to one of the particular team members that she trusted and relied on, that, you know, she would be able to then maybe manage the team in a new light. So what we tended to work on was, you know, one of the things that she'd asked was, well, how do I train this person to do that? I've got to communicate. And her whole demeanour changed. I said, well, what if, tell me what the strengths are of this particular person that you said you already trust this person. So there are natural strengths and abilities that you see in this person that possibly this person within themselves do not even see themselves as a leader. Because what was happening was there were certain aspects that this person was actually bringing their strengths forward, and there were certain areas that they were trying to be the professional, okay, which then made it sound like it was... in the communication style was very abrupt, was very direct, was very, there was no compassion and empathy, but professionalism was very, you know, stern sort of thing. And the world's changed. Professionalism is very different nowadays. And you can still be professional in a confident and assertive way without sounding, you know, with a neutral tone of voice, okay? So, and this is what we worked on, was to be able to identify what the strengths were that you saw naturally came forward. Naturally, it was just like when she's in her zone, what are the natural strengths that you absolutely love about this person, okay? And let's make that bigger. So you focus on that, so that the strengths strengthen the strengths, yeah? Instead of, how do I train the weakness? How do I train this in a different light, right? So when you strengthen the strengths and then you point the strengths out in a way that you absolutely acknowledge that person for their strengths. Because half the time, my experience always is, when you are so close to yourself, you don't even realise what you naturally are good at, what your natural strengths are. You might know it from here up, but actually feeling it from the neck down and living it and embodying that and really knowing that, that creates a natural confidence that then you can bring in naturally to the other areas of what she was wanting to hopefully train her in, right? Which is a harder journey. I said, let's come through her strengths instead of coming through to train her weakness. So when you come through the strengths become stronger, and then it actually expands, and the weaker areas are actually, you bring your strengths to the weaker areas, and that becomes the natural organic training that occurs instead of approaching it head on through the weakness of that person. You know, this is where it's important to be acknowledging people for their strengths. And as they own their own strengths, then they will embody that in other areas of their working life and their personal life and so forth, and make such a big difference. So strengthen your strengths, and you will work well as a team, and it'll take the pressure off yourself as a leader, a business owner, whoever, whatever the situation is for you, it'll make it a lot more streamlined for yourself. So keep a thought on that. And if there's anything that I can support you with, or you have any further questions, then please feel free to drop me a line. This is Annette Stanton. Thank you for tuning in, and bye for now. Bye-bye.